Welcome, curious minds, to the deep dive. If you know the name Babe Didrikson Zaharias, well, you already know it means pushing boundaries.
Absolutely. An incredible figure.
Today, we're diving deep into her just truly incredible life story. We're using the source Babe Didrikson Zaharias, an unstoppable spirit.
And it's more than just listing wins, isn't it? It's about resilience.
Exactly. Resilience, defiance, a spirit that just flat out refused to quit. Her story really shows us what unstoppable means. You know, rising from humble beginnings, making history not just once, but many times.
And in fields, people didn't expect a woman to even be in, let alone conquer.
Right. So our mission today is to pull out the key lessons from her journey.
Yeah.
What does it really take to defy limits, to face down criticism, and maybe most incredibly, to come back from the brink?
Yeah, her story reads like a comet, you know? Dramatic, definitely controversial, but so luminous, unforgettable.
It really is.
We'll be looking at the mindset, the choices that made her unstoppable, and maybe how some of that can resonate in your own life, too.
Get ready, because it's an inspiring ride. Let's unpack this legend.
Let's do it.
Okay, so let's go back. Back to the beginning, that early fire. She was born Mildred Ella Didrikson, 1911, Port Arthur, Texas. Norwegian immigrant parents.
Right, not exactly destined for the quiet life, even from the start.
No kidding. Even her nickname, Babe, it wasn't like a term of endearment in the usual sense.
No, it came from her baseball swing, right? Like Babe Ruth.
Exactly. So powerful, neighbors just started calling her that. Now, try to picture this. It's the early 1900s.
Yeah, a very different time for women.
Totally. Women were meant to be demure, stay inside, definitely not sweat. And here's this teenage girl, Babe, racing boys, jumping fences.
Throwing herself into any sport she could find with this incredible hunger.
And bruises. For her, they were like badges of honor. Battle scars. What does that tell you about her early on, her mindset?
It's pretty remarkable. I mean, in a world telling girls to be delicate, she was actively choosing the rough and tumble, embracing it. It wasn't just liking sports, it was like a fundamental refusal to be put in that box society had for women. She just knew somehow that her strength was her power and she wasn't going to apologize for it. It's like she just ran right over those lines.
And she didn't just run over them in her neighborhood, she took it global. The Los Angeles Olympics, 1932, that was her explosion onto the world stage.
Oh, absolutely. Domination is the word.
2 golds, a silver, track and field, setting world records.
Yeah, the 80-meter hurdles, the javelin, and silver in the high jump, right. Even using that kind of unconventional style.
She could just do it all. Throw farther, jump higher, run faster than almost anyone. At a time when women's events were still pretty limited.
But zooming out, it wasn't just the medals, was it? Her victories stirred up so much controversy.
Right. The reporters, the public, there were whispers.
Yeah, is she too good? Is she too strong to be, feminine? The world wanted female athletes to be dainty. Exactly. Her power almost seemed like an insult to some people's idea of womanhood. Like she needed to tone it down or something.
So how did Babe handle that? All the scrutiny, the doubt? Did she shrink back, try to fit in?
Not a chance. Never lowered her gaze, never softened her stride. She was dazzling, yes, dominating, definitely, and completely unapologetic.
Which is amazing to look back on. But you wonder, at the time, was there a risk? Did that brashness, as they called it, maybe turn some people off?
That's a really interesting point. I think she knew exactly what she was doing. Her flamboyance, it demanded attention.
Even negative attention.
Right. But even negative attention is still attention, especially when society prefers you to be invisible. She made herself impossible to ignore.
Huh. That's a powerful way to look at it.
It was strategic. Her whole persona was a challenge. I'm here. Deal with it. Revolutionary, really.
So, okay, she's conquered track and field. The world thinks they know her, and then what does she do?
She pivots completely, retires from amateur track and field.
And sets her sights on
What? Golf, which back then was seen as this very gentleman's game, conservative, dignified.
And the critics were like, no way, not for someone like her. Too brash, too bold. They were basically saying, stay in your lane.
But she didn't just play golf, she, transformed it.
How so?
Well, think about the image of golf then. Precise, maybe a bit quiet. Then comes Babe with these booming drives, often hitting it 50 yards past the men she played with.
Wow.
And her style, aggressive, competitive, she completely shattered that old mold. She didn't just win, she forced them to respect her, prove them wrong swing after swing.
And she achieved incredible things, like winning the British Amateur in '47. First American woman to do it.
Another barrier smash. That whole gentleman's game idea, obsolete.
But it wasn't just about her own trophies, was it? She did something even bigger.
Yeah, this is crucial. She co-founded the LPGA, the Ladies Professional Golf Association.
Think about that. Not just winning in a sport, but helping build the structure for it, for countless other women.
Exactly. It took incredible courage and vision to lay that foundation so other women could have professional careers, stand tall in a sport that was initially so resistant.
That's leadership. A legacy way beyond just her own scores.
It really is. It shows a shift from just individual success to collective empowerment. She knew her wins could mean more.
Creating an arena for future generations.
Absolutely. Turning athletic skill into a livelihood for women, just like men had. That makes her not just an athlete, but a true pioneer, a catalyst.
Even while doing all this, she wasn't exactly universally loved, right? The criticism continued.
Oh, definitely. Her personality, flamboyant, sharp-tongued, always wanting the spotlight.
Made her admired, sure, but also heavily criticized.
Yeah.
Dismissed as showy or, like you said, too brash for a lady.
They wanted her quieter,
Whoa.
less visible.
But wasn't that kind of the whole point?
Exactly. To demand visibility where society wanted invisibility. To refuse to be silenced.
Yeah.
Her public image was just as much a challenge to the status quo as her javelin throw or her golf swing. She knew the power of spectacle.
And she used it.
She did, brilliantly. You know, every time a woman steps onto a court or a field today, unapologetic about her strength, not trying to dim her own light, there's an echo of Babe Zaharias there.
She really paved the way for that confidence, that refusal to apologize for being powerful.
Calculated defiance. It was brilliant.
So maybe her biggest fight, her most defining moment. It didn't happen in front of cheering crowds.
No, it happened in a hospital room, 1953. Cancer.
And for Babe, whose body was everything, her instrument, her battlefield, her way of shouting to the world, this diagnosis must have been devastating.
Immense. You'd think many would just understandably retreat, accept the illness.
But not Babe.
Absolutely not. She refused to surrender. Reports say she kept practicing, even during radiation treatment, saw her physical work as part of her fight back.
Wow.
Even after major surgery, a radical mastectomy, while dealing with incredible pain, the emotional weight, she came back to golf.
And she didn't just come back.
No. She came back to dominate. The 1954 U.S. Women's Open, she won it by 12 strokes. 12.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
That's rightly called one of the greatest comebacks in sports history.
It's pure will, mental fortitude. It wasn't just playing golf, it was conquering everything life threw at her.
So what does that mean? When someone ravaged by illness, fighting for their life, still outperforms the best, the healthiest athletes?
It means her spirit. It was stronger than the disease, just fundamentally stronger.
Yeah.
The people watching her that day, they weren't just seeing a great golfer, they were seeing courage made real, a profound assertion of the human will.
She wasn't just swinging a golf club. She was swinging back at fate itself, refusing to let illness write her ending.
It's staggering, truly staggering.
Which brings us to the bigger picture. Babe Didrikson Zaharias. She was so much more than the medals, the scores.
Absolutely. She embodied possibility, showed the world that athleticism has no gender, that resilience can defy illness.
And that legacy isn't just built on wins, but on the courage to just keep fighting, keep pushing.
She was like a blueprint for audacious living.
But it's also key, I think, to remember she was human. All that pressure, being extraordinary, challenging norms constantly, living under that spotlight.
It definitely weighed on her. Behind the bravado, the laughter, there was a struggle for acceptance. Even in her marriage to George Zaharias, the wrestler.
Right, her public life, even her marriage, became another way people tried to define or categorize her.
And even with all her triumphs, she still had to navigate a world trying to box her in. Though, really, no box could ever contain her force.
That humanity, though, it almost makes the story more powerful, doesn't it?
It does. It shows that even the most unstoppable people face internal battles, face the weight of expectation. Her pushing through all that while breaking barriers, that's maybe the deepest resilience of all.
Yeah. So thinking about all this, what does it mean for you listening right now? How many times have you heard that voice, maybe external, maybe internal, saying that's not for you?
Oh, stay in your lane, don't stand out.
Babe's life just shatters that whole narrative. She proves those limits. Often they're just imposed by others or by ourselves.
Which leads to the big question. What could you do if you stopped listening to the doubters? If you really defied the mold someone else made for you?
Yeah.
Her life wasn't about avoiding controversy. It was about using it, fueling herself with it, making herself undeniable.
And when she faced the absolute darkest challenge, that illness, her answer wasn't surrender. It was one last, incredible triumph.
A profound lesson in taking control, in agency.
So the universal lesson seems crystal clear. Greatness isn't about fitting in nicely.
No, it's about standing out, daring to be different.
And turning obstacles, stereotypes, criticism, even illness, turning them into your arena.
Exactly. So whether you're facing challenges at work, societal expectations, personal struggles, her legacy kind of echoes, doesn't it?
It does. It asks, will you let the world set your limits, or will you set them yourself?
The call to action is right there. Step into your own arena. Embrace the bruises, the doubts, the controversies maybe. Because inside every challenge is the seed of something extraordinary.
And like Babe, when your moment comes, swing with everything you've got.
Not just for you, but for everyone who might follow the trail you blaze.
Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive into a truly, truly unstoppable spirit. Keep swinging, keep defying.
We'll see you next time.